Hello everyone, my name is Human Kalantari and I'm talking about one of the strategies. It's called ensuring students understand instructions for the students, especially with the special needs. So this chapter is shows some of the strategies which are the full attention, written or oral instruction, repeating, and chunk instructions are a couple of those techniques, which I will explain them in the next few slides. The first one is the full attention. So I will ask at the beginning of the class the students to put away all the electronics and all the bad memories that they had in the past in few nights before. And then I encourage them to be optimistic and willing to learn the new topic. I will change my tone during the lecture to grab attention of students during the explanation to take attention of both the students who are not having learning disabilities and the ones that they have learning disabilities. I ask questions from the students while I'm teaching and lecturing to ensure a student mind is in the classroom, not only their body. And especially I will uh, ask the question from the students who have special needs. So another strategy is the written and oral instruction. So I will make sure the written instruction and the oral instruction is very thorough. And in the beginning of the class, I will provide the students with all the instructions uh, on the piece of paper. That way they have it in front of themselves. Then I will ask few students to read instructions out loud from the notes. Provide them at the beginning of the class. So once they read them out loud, this one helps them to memorize the concepts better. I will make sure the reading out loud will be clear for all students, including the ones with the special needs. For instance, here it talks about the general safety rule as an example. The student needs to read this out loud. So for the wear the safety goggles and then notify the teacher if there is any spills or any accident that occurs. The next topic is the repeating. So repeating is very important. So I will put the student in the group of 3 or 4, and then they work together, and then they will repeat the instruction. This way, it will be beneficial for all the students after written and oral instructions to retain the concept in their brains. The other technique that it works hand in hand in repetition, especially for the students with a special need, is tell me, show me. So I'm dealing with a different students. Some of the students they have disability and sometimes they don't know they have the disability, so they don't understand the situation. And some of them they understand. So that's why I as a teacher, I never ask them, do you understand this? Do you understand that? So instead, I will ask them to tell me what I said and show me what I did. In this case, I can secure that the student, especially with a special need, can follow the instruction, not only by nodding the head and it's actually doing it. So the way that I do it is I will repeat the direction 3 times while the students are looking straight at me. I quickly walk in classroom and stop at the desk of my students with ELN. So quickly saying again, tell me or show me what you are supposed to do. Once I understand that a student could follow the instruction thoroughly, then I will walk away and go to the another student. The other strategy is the chunk the instructions. So this is very, very important in especially in the some of the complex courses such as math and science. So in chemistry, for instance, I start explaining atoms and what is inside the atoms and what is the group of atoms. Then I will talk about the moles and the molar mass in the next section. So then I can put all the information of the moles and the mass with the atoms and molecules. So I will connect these information to each other. That way the student can understand little by little for the every vocabulary. So rather than I introduce them to a bunch of vocabularies at the first, and then they don't have any clue. All of them will be meaningless for them. This way, I introduce the information step by step, and the students are learning that step by step, uh, and then they get some background information. Then the other thing, the other example for the chunk instruction is in chemistry when I'm going to explain the compounds and the naming of the compounds specifically. So I first explain the metal and the non-metal to the students, and I will explain the difference of those. For instance, when I say non-metals are gaining electrons and the metals are losing electrons. And I will make sure the student understand what do I mean by losing and the gaining electrons. I show it on the board with a complete clear examples. And then lastly, I will make the connection between these two steps. And then the student can name the compound completely. There are some references that are used in this study, so which are the ones that I get from the inclusion, especially inclusion strategies in the second edition of the book. So the students can learn these topics.